and you don't know what to do, it gives you something that you can look at to kind of refresh your memory and work on it by yourself. Also, I did correct last night's independent work. Those grades are in Google Classroom. You should look at the assignment, pull up the assignment, and your grade should be right there. If you got less than a 70, then you can see me during online office time, and I can allow you to do a redo. There are 3 fifth graders that got less than a 70. So if you're not sure if that's you or not, look it up on Google Classroom. If you don't know how to do that, come see me during online office time or online math time. And that's at 1 o'clock or 1:30. Yeah, Riley.
Last time I tried to go on to Math Help, it kept saying that you were in another meeting.
Yep, try again today. Yep,
Okay.
we fixed that problem. Sometimes in between classes, either Mrs. Tui or Sister Maria or another teacher, I need to have conversations with them. So if that happens, just keep trying to get into the room, okay? Excellent. So let's start. We're going to be dividing today. Yes, Danielle?
When we go on to the assignment, will it be a private comment or will it be on the paper?
What do you mean? No, when you open the assignment, it should say you open the assignment and it should say X number of points that you got.
Okay.
If you can't find it, just come to the online office time and I'll show you exactly where it is. Grant, you have a question?
Yeah. How many wrong is a 70?
There were 16 problems. If you got 5 wrong, that's a 69. So if you had 5 or more wrong, and you'll know they're wrong because of the red boxes. Okay? All right, let's get started. I'm going to start with an easy one. If I were going to divide 3,692 by 10, for the first few, I'm going to use Mr. Calculator. And we're going to look for a pattern, 3692.0, and I can see there's a decimal point right here. Can you see that? There's a decimal point. It's very small. And I'm going to hit divided by 10. I'm going to write that down. And I'm going to put the ending 0 there. What do you notice? Does anyone see something the same about the dividend and the quotient? Miss Flaherty.
The decimal, it moved 1 space over.
The decimal moved 1 space. What about the digits? What do you notice about the digits, Miss Flaherty?
They're the same digits.
Exactly. They're exactly the same. 36920, 36920. The only thing that's different is the decimal place went 1 space to the left. Let's see what happens if we take 3,692 and divide it by 100. 3,692, I always stop and check to make sure that I've entered my data correctly. Divided by 100. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. I want to make sure you can see the calculator readout there. Is that better? What's the answer? What's the answer? Grant?
Mr. D, I'm having a little trouble hearing you.
Is anyone else having trouble hearing me? No? It must be your connection.
I heard you say my name, but I couldn't
Okay.
really hear anything
So
else.
what is the answer, Grant? 3,692 divided by 100. What's that number?
3 and no.
Take your time.
0 point what?
What is this number? How would you read that?
36 and 92 hundredths.
That's correct. And I'm going to put that ending 0 in just so we can see. What do you notice?
You're moving the decimal point over 1?
Are the digits changing?
No.
The digits are not changing at all. But I'm moving that decimal point. I'm going to make this look more like a decimal point. I don't want it to look like a comma. Now, let's take our original dividend and divide it by 1,000. What does the calculator give me as an answer? Natalie? You gotta unmute. What does the calculator give us? Good.
0.692.
Talk to me about what you notice about all of those numbers.
They're all the same digits.
All exactly the same digits. What's different?
The decimal place is moved.
Right. If you were going to explain to someone how to do this, what words would you use? What would you tell them to do?
I'm not sure.
Good answer. Lola?
I would tell them however many zeros are in the dividend. That's how many places you slide over the
Right.
decimal.
First, you find your basic fact, right? 3,692 divided by 1. You write that down. And then for every 0 in your divisor, you move the decimal point 1 space over to the right or to the left? To the left. Do you remember when we were multiplying, we moved it to the right because it got bigger? Now that we're dividing, we moved it to the left so it'll get smaller. The value decreases. Let's take another example.
Mr. D.
Yeah.
Mr. D.
Yes.
When I try to do the multiplication, the division on my calculator, it becomes a fraction. It becomes, yeah.
Okay. I don't know why. You should be able to convert it into a decimal. I don't know why. If I were doing this mentally, following that same pattern that we just did up top, I'm going to rewrite my digits. And I'm going to move that decimal 1 space over to the left. So instead of being between the 5 and the 0, it gets moved between the 6 and the 5. Find your basic fact, write it down, and then move your decimal. Let's do that same thing again, divided by 100. 765 divided by 100. Find your basic fact. Move that decimal space 2 spaces to the left. 1, 2. Anyone want to take a chance at the last one? Go ahead, Ari.
It would be So 765.0 times 1,000 is 0.7650.
Yes. How would you read that, Samik? Is Samik here? Samik,
Oh, yes.
how would you read that number?
Zero and 765 hundred thousandths.
Close. 0 and what is that 4-digit number? 7,650. What place value is that 0 in? Tenths, hundredths, thousandths.
10 thousandths.
So now read me that decimal.
0 and 765 and
0 and 7,650 ten thousandths. Okay, that's how you read it. 0 and 7,650 ten thousandths. All right, let's do another one. Juliana, talk to me. Yes, Grant.
We're doing 32.0 divided by 10.
Yes.
32.0 divided by 10 equals 3.20.
That is correct. Very good job. All you did is move that decimal point one space over to the left. James, divided by 100. Try type it in the chat, James, because I think you're. Yep. Yep. Good job. Lily. 32 divided by 1,000.
0 and 320 ten thousandths.
How do I write that?
0.0320.
Perfect. Look what she did. See how she needed to come over? She needed this decimal to come over here. So she put in that 0 and then the decimal point. Perfect. Very, 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 very good. How about this one? Any volunteers? Really? Oh, okay. Grant, talk to me.
0 and 17 hundredths.
Perfect. Keep going.
0 and 170,000?
No.
Oh, wait.
So you move
Hmm.
this decimal place over to the right, over to the left, right? Right here. You now need to move this decimal over to the left.
Oh, 0 and 0,
Yep.
17,000?
Yes. 0.017. What he did is he moved this decimal over to the left, wrote it, and then put his leading zero in. Divide it by 1,000, Grant.
0 and 17 10,000s.
Correct. Do you see that pattern? All you're doing is multiplying it by 1 and shifting that decimal place over to the left. That's exactly right. Let's do one more. How about Joseph, when you're done sneezing?
It will be
Go ahead.
271 and 95 hundredths.
Perfect. Yes. Perfect. Keep going when you're ready.
Then it would be 27 and 195 thousandths.
27 and 195 thousandths. Keep going.
2 and 7,195 hundred thousandths.
10 thousandths.
10,000.
10 thousandths. Very, very, very good. Holy cow, this is easier than I thought it would be. Oh, praise God. All right. If you were explaining to someone how to do this, if you wanted to give them the directions on how to do this, what would you tell them? What do you think? Ari?
I would tell him you take the original number and you move it over how many zeros are in the number.
Perfect. Let's write that down. Yes, Juliana.
It's kind of like what we did the other day, how we multiplied instead of divided. It's almost like that.
Because they're inverse operations. Multiplying undoes division. Division undoes multiplication. That's correct. Now, what if I did something a little different? What if I did this? Did my value increase or decrease? It decreased. By how much? What am I dividing by, Riley-O?
You're dividing.
Say it again, please. I'm sorry.
You're dividing by 10.
That's correct. How did you know that? How did you know that,
Because
Riley?
the decimal only moved over once.
Right? The decimal went from here
Mm-hmm.
to here. It moved once, and the digits are all the same. Perfect. What if I gave you this? What did I divide 7 3/10 by? Kenley?
100.
Perfect. How did you know that?
Because the decimal place moved over twice.
Perfect. You ready for your trick one? What if I asked you to do that one? Oh boy. Misty, I have an idea, but I don't want to say it out loud. That should be a bunch of you. Low, go ahead.
5 6/100.
How did you do that?
Because since it's 10, you just slide the decimal back.
Right,
Where-
you use the inverse operation. You knew that the decimal
Yeah.
must have been moved to the left going this way. So if I move it to the right one time, I'll have my original answer. Perfect.
Yep.
What about here? I'm gonna pick on Sean. I haven't heard that voice all morning. Do you have a guess, Sean? Are you there or are you thinking?
I'm thinking.
Okay, take your time. So this number is going to be the same as this number because the 1 is the same. So it's going to be the same digits. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So now I took this number. I must have moved the decimals to the left. How many times?
2.
Right, twice. So instead of moving them to the left, do the opposite. If you move them to the right twice, what do you get?
7.3.
That is correct. Does that make sense, Sean?
Yes.
Part of your independent work today is going to be doing that. This is called missing divisor. Find the missing divisor. This is find the missing dividend. Do you notice that the divisor and the dividend are related? They are related. Let me show you. This number sentence and that number sentence are related. This number sentence and that number sentence are related. Do you remember back in like second grade, you would do 1 + 2 = 3, 2 + 1 = 3, 3 - 1 = 2, 3 - 2 = 1. You had all those related facts. This is the same exact thing. You're using what you already know in a little bit more of a sophisticated fashion. Is this making sense? Mr. G, I have no idea what you're talking about, and I am clueless right now. I think I get it. I think I'm good. Yep, I'm good. Leave me alone. Let me go do my thing. All right. Your independent work today is posted in Google Classroom. It's workbook page 106. I would highly recommend doing the work in your workbook first, so that way if you make any mistakes, you can see. And then you fill your answers into the worksheet that was put into Google Classroom. If you have any questions, come to online help. Online help is at 1 to 1:30. Online math help is 1:30 to 2 o'clock. And you can also let me know if you want to redo your independent work from yesterday at those meetings. Okay? Any questions? Ethan.
Can I stay back and
Of course.
talk to you?
Yep,
Yeah, okay.
of course. All right, you can go ahead.